This is Andy Crawford with Louisiana Sportsman. I'm in Venice with my dad today. We could have been working, but there's been too many reports of good fishing days down here, and so we decided to come out and check out the bass fishing. Honestly, it hasn't been as good as I expected. I've received several reports of 100 fish days. That hadn't worked out for us yet. We still got a couple hours of the falling tide, and so I'm hoping that it's going to turn around. But we've probably got our first of a two-man limit in, 10 fish in the boat, a couple that push 2 pounds, nothing huge. But the key is really simple. It's no real secret for anybody who is bass fish down here. We're focusing on the flooded canes. We're trying to find canes that have hyacinths or salvinia, but really hyacinths pushed up against them. And we're not really finding that. The canes are pretty clean today, and so what we're focusing on are corners and the canes that aren't so thick that we can go ahead and pitch into that cane. There's a lot of brim bites. You've got to discern the brim bites from the bass bites, but there's plenty of fish here. We're just pitching plastics. We've got a brush hog, a black with a red flake brush hog. The water is a little darker here. We were fishing real natural green colors, and I didn't really think there was much contrast. We weren't getting many bites. I switched to this and we started picking up some bites. Using a 3/0 wide gap hook, and then I'm using an Excalibur tungsten weight 1/2 ounce, and it's pegged to keep the whole bait together as it goes through that thick cover. I want it pegged again because the cover is pretty thick. If I'm in hyacinths, it's got to pull the bait through that hyacinths. If it's in the canes, same thing. It's got to pull down the bait, and if it's not pegged, then that bait can stay up high and the weight can fall. So I think that's vital. The weight, I've got a buddy who, Eric Williamson, he fishes lighter weights. I like the 1/2 ounce because I don't have to worry about it getting through thick cover. If I'm in thick cover, it's going through. There are times that I'll even switch to a 3/4 ounce, but a 1/2 ounce generally works pretty well. And we're using braided line. Mono doesn't do very well here. It breaks. It's a really tough environment to be pitching, and so I think braid is pretty important. Helps with the hook set, helps you get a fish out of the canes quickly. Again, we haven't had a 100 fish day yet. We're still hopeful that they'll turn on. We'll hit that magic spot, but it's Venice. It can happen. So if you're looking for if you've got a friend or a son who wants to learn how to fish bass on plastics, this is the place to do it. There's plenty of fish, lots of bites to be had. My dad is an avowed brim fisherman. I'm not sure if this might be the first bass trip he's ever been on. He's already caught 3 or 4 or 5 of the fish that we've got in the live well, and so it's not complicated. It just takes a little patience and and moving around until you find an area that's got some current moving on it and have some fish on it. Be sure and look for the September issue of the Louisiana Sportsman, which we're working on right now. There's going to be an article by former editor Todd Masson picking apart a couple of anglers' patterns on how they fish this area, and there's a lot of good information that you can pick up on exactly how you can key in on those spots that are going to have bass, as opposed to just fishing down a bank until you trip upon them. So be sure and pick that up. Check us out on the web. Be sure and post your reports and your pictures there. See you on the web.